Blog Talk Radio.
Again to another episode of Husia Blog Talk Radio. My co-host, Queen Tamu P, is not here today. She is in the Bay Area taking care of some business, and hopefully the sister makes it back in Sac safe. So we'll let the ancestors guide her. Tonight we're going to be talking about wealth, land, and power with Robert Mugabe. I actually like that brother. When I started hearing about this brother in the late 80s, you know, I'm pretty young, matter of fact. I was born in 78, but I don't want y'all to think that I'm too old. But when I started hearing this brother in the late 80s, it was something almost emotional. I know that he was sharing his power with, I forgot the brother's name, but the brother was doing some amazing stuff with him and Hugo Chavez, the president that just passed not too long ago, I believe, in Mexico. This brother has been doing some amazing things ever since he was a child. So, but anyway, I'll tell you more about him. But just an update. I know a few weeks back I was talking about how to help historical black universities, and that I was going to put out my basketball video by donating to the local historical black university out here in California where I'm at, and I'm still doing that, and I'm going to do that this weekend, so be prepared for that. That's going to hit YouTube, my YouTube channel, and it's coming pretty soon. Believe that is coming. Also, if you have a business that you want to get some attention to, email me, llcei78@yahoo.com. Once again, it's llcei78@yahoo.com. Tell me the business. Tell me your slogan. Give me your phone number. We'll call, chat. Give me your email. Give me your web address. I'll call you. We'll chat a little bit and see how conscious and black you really are. All right? It's about helping the black economics, empowering our bank accounts, empowering our knowledge, expanding our business. Also, I had a young lady to send me an email by the name of Sharon Smith. She has 2 books that she has published. Very young, intelligent, vibrant young lady. I spoke to her. And her books are called, the first book is called Agnes, Don't You Cry, Hold Your Head High. Her name is Sharon Elisha Smith. That's Sharon Elisha, Elisha Smith. And this book is about Agnes, Don't You Cry, Hold Your Head High. It's a semi-autobiography of the life of the author. Agnes has been through many adversities in her childhood as well as in her young adulthood. She had a father who left when she was just a baby and a mother who eventually gave her away to her grandparents. How often does that happen in the black community? So, and a marriage that turned out to be disappointing. While going through these adversities, Agnes has managed to hold her head high to a higher power for strength to help her get through it all. Throughout the story, you will read about the thoughts that were going through Agnes' head, and how she dealt with the outcome of them all. The author wrote the story in hopes to give a message to those who have been through many adversities and felt like giving up. Even in the midst of those adversities, you can make it. Though struggles may come, you will overcome. All right, that's her first book. Sounds pretty interesting to me, and I'm actually going to put that on my Nook. I like that. So, Mrs. Smith, you got my vote. I'm going to get that one. Also, she has another book called Let Go My Sunshine. I'll tell you the book summary about this book. In the first novel, Agnes, Don't You Cry, Hold Your Head High, author Sharon Alicia Smith left readers with a sense of electrifying events of adversities to learn and grow from. Now, in this fictional tell-all story of two best friends that fall in love with the same guy is sure to catch the eye of any reader. Whoa. These two women have been best friends ever since childhood. They've shared some of the same thoughts about for the future, gone to the same schools, lived on the same block, wore each other's clothing, and copied hairstyles. Though the ups and downs, they have remained friends, but when Kiyomi enters the picture, will this friendship last? Sheena can't seem to understand. Yeah, you know that's a black girl named Sheena. Sheena can't seem to understand why it is that men are drawn to her best friend, Charlie. Charly. Charlie. Sheena has the potential to attract the right kind of guy if given the opportunity. Charlie loves the attention that she receives from men. She has the attitude of being able to pick and choose any man that her heart desires. She must be beautiful. That her heart desires. However, will she get the man of her dreams this time? Those are the two books by Sharon Alicia Smith. Y'all go out there and buy those two books by this young sister who is trying to make it and tell her life story and give someone else some hopes and some dreams. So y'all get out there and support the young sister. The names of the books again are Agnes, Don't You Cry, Hold Your Head High, and Let Go My Sunshine. All right? And also, like I was saying before, you want your business, LLCEI78 at yahoo.com. All right? And also, my brother Kep Hadaru Temu, he makes jewelry. You guys got to go to his Facebook page. Go to that Facebook page, check it out, see what he has to offer. I'm telling you, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I got a couple of pieces from this brother, and, man, I just like looking at it. So you know how it is when I'm wearing it. But we're going to get to what the topic is today, and that is Wealth, Land, and Power. You know, by Robert, well, not by Robert Mugabe, but we're going to be talking about Robert Mugabe, what he's offering Africans, and African Americans. So you know how I do it. I hit you with a poem first, and then I give you some quotes. So this poem here is called What Would Our Past Generations Think Now About Us? All right, so here we go. Our race comes from generations and generations of kings and queens, priests and high-ranked frontline officers. They were soldiers that marched, preached, and commanded when called upon. At any given time and in any type of weather condition, history teaches us that in my past generations, they had built temples and palaces that were built for everyone, with steps facing the heavens with our faces on them. So when enemies would come, they would be intimidated and terrified. The enemy had no idea what was in store for them when they came upon us to rob. My past generations wore solid gold crowns, shoes, robes, necklaces, bracelets, and anklets, rode thoroughbreds from one end of the kingdom to the next. While galloping through the town, the people would speak with their hands raised high in delight. Excited to see the king and queen of the country because they would ride and stop and speak with the people about life. Some traveled the river by boat, trading spices, clothes, animals, inventions, and even human cargo, creating rules and laws, some passing judgments with other kings and queens of other important lands. Men back then had more than one woman at a time, and the reason being is because life was so short back then, they had to prolong life. and they were able to enjoy the riches of family life and were able to provide for all of them back then. Passing all family values and ties down the tree of life, teaching and preaching, showing the young ones to have wisdom is to have life in this world and the next. Nowadays, we fight each other to be kings and queens, or even priests and high-ranked officers, from frontline soldiers that have to fight through scrutiny, hate, and other jealous ranking officials. Some of them feel like there is no place to work or have any place in today's society. Some people find any reason at all not to go to work. From temples and palaces to praising songs about living in the projects called Section 8 homes, with pictures of Jesus and crosses all over the wall. 4 to 5 different women, 7 to 9 children that you don't even spend time with, expensive clothing and expensive cars with no insurance at all, no road trips, just city blocks and country cruising, trading poison from block to block, bragging on it, yeah, I'm selling rocks. No education for you, no plans for the future, can't see myself working in the next 20 years. What are you here for, you ask yourself? Is it to make everyone with some sort of motivation and a grade A plan miserable, or to try and become someone who someone else didn't ever want you or anyone else to become? Wake up and realize your truth. Stand up and stop letting yourself become a boot, having people just kick you around, and when they are done, throw you in a corner. And then to stop the worry, you smoke marijuana that was given to us from the Most High. Wake up and realize and get insights that all of this will last you just a second. Invest your money into what's right, stocks and bonds, pieces of land that will last you generations. And that's it. So that is the poem for today. We have a caller here that's calling in. I think that's Sister Tamu. Let me check and see. Let's see here. You on the Blog Talk Radio with Lucia. Caller?
Yeah, I was looking at your topic. I was just curious.
All right. What you got to say, brother?
Well, I was looking at your topic regarding Zimbabwe.
Okay.
And was curious what your conversation was going to be on it.
It's about wealth, land, and power with Robert Mugabe. I'm glad you called in. Where you calling from?
I'm calling from the Midwest.
Okay. All right. Midwest, well, Chicago, Wisconsin. It's a big Midwest.
St. Louis area.
St. Louis? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you got a question? You got a suggestion? You got a comment?
Well, I agree with the opportunities that exist there for blacks and black African Americans. Of course, Mugabe is one of my favorite persons.
I agree.
And just like other areas there on the continent too, but I think that you're going to have to find a group of special people with special focus and desires and skills rather than, throwing things right out there in the open. There's a lot of conversation that goes on regarding those opportunities. Nowhere near enough blacks from America take advantage of it, though.
That's the whole point, brother. That's why we put it out there to try to reach folks who have like-minded, that are like-minded like myself and you, to get them out there to actually go out there and take advantage of this. Maybe, hopefully not ever, but maybe this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. So I agree with that.
Yeah, especially in agriculture in places like Zimbabwe.
Yeah, you're right.
The same thing exists there in Zimbabwe's neighbor, Zambia.
Yes. So
I was talking to a friend of mine who had access to 500,000 acres of virgin land in Liberia with all kind of possibilities. He's not doing anything. He just signed the contracts.
Okay.
To get involved.
So he just put his seeds down then.
Well, he's pretty knowledgeable. He's not no young man, but he's pretty knowledgeable. He's trying to do what you're doing. He's a little bit more Pacific, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's carried things quite a ways. And, you know, now you're at the point where you either have to crap or get off the pot.
We can understand that. Well, look, brother, we got to go move on with the show. I thank you for calling in.
Yeah, I'm going to continue to listen.
Please do. Please do. We appreciate it. Trust me, we appreciate it. Please, what's your name again?
My name is Bianchi.
All right, brother. Okay. So we got to continue on with the show, my man. You know, it's only 30 minutes, and we got 14 minutes left to go. We appreciate it. So please make sure to continue to listen in and call in and give us some more of this good advice that you're giving us, brother. We appreciate it. All right. That was Brother Bianchi. Gave us a great comment, a nice statement on what blacks should be doing. I like that. Thank you again, brother. So here's the quote of the day. If the choice were made, one for us to lose our sovereignty and become a member of the Commonwealth, or remain with our sovereignty and lose the membership of the Commonwealth, I would say let the Commonwealth go. Robert Mugabe. That brother is bad. So let's talk about wealth, land, and power with Robert Mugabe. So Robert Mugabe wants African Americans to come back to Africa to buy land, set up businesses in Zimbabwe and all across Africa to build a better Africa, not really for us, but for the future, our future generations. And there's nothing wrong with that. He's offering wealth to all Africans and Africans and African Americans, Brazil, Jamaica, Trinidad, everybody. So you guys got to do some research on that. All you got to do is just Google it, Robert Mugabe, Mugabe, and it'll come up. I guarantee you'll be the first one to come up. So a little history on Robert Mugabe, if you don't know who he is the president of Zimbabwe. Before it was called Zimbabwe, it was called the Southern Rhodesia. So Robert Mugabe was born in 1924, February the 21st. He's a known Marxist. He has a bachelor of science in economics. When Mugabe was a child, he witnessed thousands of African families, people who he knew, went to school with, grew up with, had been displaced by colonial rule. And this happened in the 1960s. And we all know what happened in the 60s. Not in Africa, but I'm talking about here in the States. So that goes to show you, if it was happening here in the 60s with media and technology, imagine what was happening in Africa with no technology. Take about 5 minutes to think about that one. Your people. And it wasn't even videotaped. Nobody talked about it. And it was just recorded on newspaper. That was it. Yeah, so that was happening in the 1960s. So let's see what happened here in the States in the 1960s. I'll tell you. Or you had the federal protection for the Freedom Riders. You had the minimum wage hike had just went up to like $1.25 in the 1960s. Yeah, you know, minimum wage now is what? Out here in California, I think it's like maybe $12 or $13 or something like that. Yeah, $1.25 was a lot of money back in those days. It put food on the table, I'll tell you that. Ask your great-grandmother about $1.25. You had JFK. He appointed a segregationist, Harold Cox. You had Kennedy was assassinated. You had the creation of Medicare and Medicaid. So that's how long it's been going on, since the 60s. You had the Voting Rights Act. You had the housing discrimination ban. Blacks can actually buy, Hispanics can actually buy houses. You had the Higher Education Act. So that's the type of stuff that was happening in the 60s. You had, I think, Nixon had got the presidency. So all of that stuff was done in the 60s. So Mugabe said all whites who are still in this country should go back to England, as he vowed that those removed from the land, all that land should be redistributed back to Zimbabweans. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now, actually having a people to come to Africa and take up all the land and not give to the people is the same exact thing what they did here. We worked the land. I can't say we, but our ancestors worked the land, and they got nothing in return. And that's the same thing that they're doing. And you could call Mugabe mean or a dictator or whatever, but you know what? You got to look at the times that he grew up in. And there was a lot of hate back then. And that's not just Mugabe. It's a lot of others that feel the same way. So what he's doing is called the Land Redistribution Program. And he's basically saying if any blacks or Zimbabweans that own land and give their land or sell their land to anybody of European descent, he's going to tax them, throw them in jail. But for us, we can go over there, buy as much as we want, because you have to look at the dollar, do the currency conversion chart. I've already done it. So you know where my money is going. And that Zimbabwe, the good thing about it is that it's not only Zimbabwe. You have Ghana, you have, I believe, Uganda, and you have at least 3 other countries over there that's over there in the motherland that's doing this. So a lot of you millionaires that's buying these big old homes that's $14, $15 million, and it is by the time you make 45, 50 years old, it's you can't pay the mortgage on it no more. Guess what? If you buy land, you're still gonna have that land, and that land will feed nations. Oh man, it's kind of frustrating sometimes to talk about it, but you know you guys have to think. So Mugabe says that he believes that the damaging sanctions that was imposed by the European Union and the United States were aimed at punishing him for daring the right to right a colonial wrong by giving land to black Zimbabweans. So they're real upset at this brother for that. So if they're real upset for him doing that, how do you think that a lot of the blacks over here feel when it wasn't given to us? You blacks better think about that. You blacks better put your money where your mouth is and empower your bank accounts, because that's where it's all at. It's all about economics. If you don't have economics, you have no power. Education is good. Education is real good. But if you don't have economics, I'm sorry, you can have all the education in the world. But it ain't gonna do it's not gonna do you any good. So anyway, I'm gonna give you this quote because we only got 5 minutes left. Land must be fully utilized for the production of food. That's Robert Mugabe. So tonight, as you can tell, was a Robert Mugabe night. That's what this brother is doing. I respect what the people that are under him, his successors, are going to do after he leaves office, or if once the ancestors take him away. Because the brother, I believe, is in his 90s. And he still looks like he's in his late 60s, early 70s. The power of the melanin. But that's another story. So I'm going to tell you guys the definition of some of the words that I said, because I know some of you guys probably, just listening in and just don't know those words, so I don't want to leave you guys hanging. So sovereignty. that means supreme power or authority. Commonwealth, an independent country or community, especially a democratic republic, and a Marxist. A Marxist is a worldview and a method of societal analysis that focuses on class relations and societal conflict, that uses a materialist interpretation of historical development and a dialectical view of social transformation. So the poem that I read tonight, that's in my book, From My Thoughts to Your Thoughts. You could go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. It's 35 poems in that poetry book. My next poetry book is going to be out in maybe about another 3-4 months. I just published another book. It's called Empty Shells, EmptyShells. You could go on Lulu Publishing, Lulu Publishing, and put that in the search box, and it'll come right up. You'll see my face with a big smile on it. But you guys, all jokes aside, though, you know, this is maybe a once-in-a-lifetime event. This is history that is actually going down, and a lot of brothers and sisters aren't aware of this. You guys have to wake up. You guys really do have to wake up and see what is in front of you. Put your money where your mouth is. Empower your bank accounts. That's the only way you will be free. More taxes maybe, but you will be free. So we come to the end. I don't have any YouTube videos tonight, but if you want to look up something on YouTube, just pull up Robert Mugabe, RobertMugabe. All right, and the brother has these long speeches that are very brilliant, very well written speeches. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And just watch the news. What they have to say. You know, even though you know it's the meds that's telling you this stuff, but you have to connect the dots, see who's telling the truth, see who's lying. So I'm going to sign off. Thanks again for one more night. Thanks to the caller who called in. So, like I said before, if you want to put your business out here and let everybody know what's going on, LLCEI78@yahoo.com. Call me for your business. Call me. Email me for your business. Email me for your books. Leave your name, leave your number, leave your email address, even your Facebook, and I will contact you. We will chat, and we will talk it up, and we will see if I'm going to promote it or not. All right? And trust me, I do see BS, and I also hear it. So don't try to come at me like that. All right. So this is Terrence from UC Blog Talk Radio signing off. Once again, I'm going to apologize for my co-host not being here, but I know she loves y'all, and I know what she would say. A BB for Hootie, Black Liberation, Black Power, Black Economics, empower your bank accounts. Peace and love. Hotel.